Do you think China starts taking advantage of U.S. strain on residents? Yeah, they're doing this right now. China's smiling ear to ear, Cheshire cat. And Xi Jinping does not have a pretty smile. I'm sorry, I'll say it. Year of kindness, but he doesn't. He looks weird when he smiles. He has a face built to frown. They're moving in on a lot of, like, what was it? The U.S. dropped out of the World Health Organization. China stepped in majorly. They're trying to like swoop in on all these systems that America created to run the world. That we are now pulling out of all of them. It feels like an own goal. Listen, if you're an American citizen, I mean, we have a lot of problems, don't get me wrong, and things were not trending in a great direction either way. But living in a global hegemon does come with some perks, so it sucks to lose it. Europeans probably not feeling much sympathy. Do you think that USA exits 2030 remaining a superpower? Of course. Wait, exit the 2030s or the year 2030? 2030, of course. Not even a doubt in my mind. But you said superpower, not unipower. The United States is already not the global unipower the way they were after World War II. Everything that we know, every way we conceive the world, whether you're American or not, is all built in the post-World War II American-led global order that is now unwinding. And this is regardless of Trump, by the way. Trump's accelerating it, not necessarily helping, but this is happening anyway. This has been unwinding even pre-Biden. This has been unwinding. And so what we're in now is like a period of great uncertainty, big question mark. We're in the global question mark, dude, for everything. I don't know, for global debt, for stock market valuations, for formerly long-held alliances, for all the things that were stable for 40, 50 years are now all question marks. A lot of things are just different now. And people are trying to figure out what that means and who lands where and what's going on. And a lot of things are going to shift and change. We're in a change decade, but obviously change is scary, especially as a regular average human. Big global change means a lot of, it's hard to understand the world. It makes it more confusing. Nobody has their head wrapped around what it means. Nobody. We're just trying to figure it out. This time seems strange because the US is giving up that power voluntarily. Yeah, bro. Dude, I want to talk. Here's like a theme for some of the news recently, which is like the main theme of the past like 2 months has been Elon Musk or Trump doing something pretty stupid. Like objectively, I think stupid. And I am trying to find a way to cover that without being repetitive. It's crazy that I get these comments that are like, wow, you're just orange man bad or something. And from my POV, I feel like I am actually bending over backwards to try and like find a different take. Listen, I am every day reading and every day listening to, I think, really intelligent people, really smart students of the economy and markets, many of whom voted for Trump. None of them are happy with how this first 2 months. None of them. Not a single one is like, yeah, things are going well. This is being handled correctly. I know that some of the people giving these quotes are only watching like just the worst media. They're watching like just slop, just talking point slop. But I'm not doing that. If I listen and read to smart people, I can't find someone being like, this is going well. I have to call it like I see it, dude. This is a great post. I want to see if I can find it. Like, I already thought the economy was bad, but I agree. If I wanted to crash the economy, I think I'd put on indiscriminate tariffs, push cheap labor out of the country, slash public jobs, cut public spending, promote an alternative to the dollar, and incentivize every global ally to look to partner with China. Like, this is exactly what's happening. From a purely like, I'm not even talking like whatever you want to call woke values or whatever. I'm talking from like Republican values, from like, I want strong country. I want strong country. I want strong economy. I want good. Like from that POV, I'm like super frustrated with this administration. It's bad. It's making the country I live in weaker. And like, this has real impacts. Dude, I was listening to Navalny's biography. It's so tragic. It's a beautiful biography. Navalny's the guy that died in Russia protesting Putin. But the first third of the book is really just him talking about growing up in Russia. He goes through every stage of his life and like what it was like going to college and what it was like under the Soviet Union and all aspects. And he talks about the corruption and graft and state lying and every stage of it. But he talks particularly about this brief period sort of in the early days of Boris Yeltsin after the Soviet Union crumbled and they had opportunity for a different thing. He was looking closely at other countries in a similar space, like Poland, Eastern European countries. And he's like, basically, after Putin came to power, we started entrenching this system of oligarchs and corruption that stole 30 years from every average person's life. Basically, the next 30 years were like more depressed, slower growth, less potential. It's like people lost 30 years of what they could have had. And he's like, not even growth compared to like the super high growth countries, just compared to like Poland or other Eastern European countries. Like they saw their standard of living rise better, faster. They lived longer. They had less deaths of despair. And so what I'm saying is like, these type of decisions feel to me like we're setting up for regular people to lose years of their life, to get years of less than they could get. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I can't lie about it. I can't dance around it. I don't like it. So I have to call it out. I have to say that I don't like it. It's not like I'm despondent. It's like I'm wringing my hands with despair. If anything, I've set myself up right for this world. I've done everything in my power since 2022, maybe since like mid Joe Biden, seeing some of the writing on the wall and like making sure I'm paid down all my debt, no debt. I'm driving a beat up used car, completely paid off. I've got money in gold, money in treasuries, money in, you know what I'm saying? I've done everything to be like set myself up. It's not me I'm worried about. I just think my country's getting weaker. And that leads to fewer opportunities for people I know, for friends. It leads to lower economic growth. It leads to all that shit I don't like. So that's why I talk about it, all right? I'm not gonna stop talking about it just because it makes somebody whose news diet is like complete slop get mad because they don't want to hear it. Back in the 80s, there was an underlying fear that Japan was going to become more powerful than the USA. It's reflected in the culture of the time. Do you think this anti-China thing could be a phase? No one knows the exact trajectory of China. The thing about China is boots on the ground reality is that China has become an absolute manufacturing superpower in a way that Japan, even at its heights, never was. Vastly more land, vastly more resources, vastly more just like literally they're like half of the world's manufacturing now, which is equivalent to what the United States was post-World War II. So they have some real, actual, raw, like kinetic power. But China has its own problems. It's not all green. So no one really knows because they have a terrible, terrible demographic pyramid, like way worse than US post-World War II. They have an actively shrinking population every year, an older population every year, and they have a massive debt hangover from a huge amount of real estate spending, and that continues to decrease in value. So it's tough. It's tough to know exactly what's going on, but at the end of the day, it's like you can't write off somebody who's got that level of manufacturing superiority. No one's close. But what it seems like is, you know, again, multipolar, not unipolar world. It feels like multipolar. It feels like both countries retreating to their spheres of influence. Is there any country that's doing things right? Norway? Yeah, I mean, if you want to point out a country, again, every country has problems. There's no utopia on earth. There's no perfect place. But the Nordic countries, people are happier there. They're happier there. They're more trust in their government. Norway particularly has used its oil money extremely intelligently, but not everybody has oil money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, they got pretty lucky. They're a relatively small, relatively homogenous population of, you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't have any of the challenges other countries have where they have to figure this shit out. I'm 21. I've been seriously considering politics since all our options are terrible. I mean, I will say, you know, obviously because they have the House, the Senate, the judiciary, and Elon Musk is as unelected power as I've never seen before. I've been talking about Republicans and I've been talking about Trump and Elon and what's going on, but you know, I have a lot of criticism to levy towards the absolutely useless DNC, bro. If you are a young person wanting to get into politics, you're actually needed because they have a complete inability to message anything. They've completely lost the plot on 2020 post-2020 media. They have no idea how to talk to regular people. They have no idea how to stick to a message. They have no idea how to like build, you know what I'm saying? It's Talk Tua. Talk Tua's better. Haley Welch did a better job explaining a crypto scam than whoever's doing messaging for the DNC. There's opportunities for sure. The Whig Party makes a comeback. Dude, I think it's not crazy that we see new political parties. I think it's not crazy. It's not insane. It's happened many times in American history in times like this. Whether they get enough to be top 2 super contender, but like in a post-social media era, the ability of new ideas to spread virally is so different. No old head in politics gets it, especially in the DNC, they don't get it, but oh, hell no, I gotta be the strong generation that fixes shit. Yeah, wake the fuck up, dude. Yeah, you do. I might just skirt in. I might skirt in as too old to help. But you, if you're like 22, yeah, you have to pick up the pieces, bro. You got to fix shit. You have to wait a little bit, but I'm literally 22 and you're literally going to save things. Nader Noah, what's your first act when you get elected as president in 20 years? How are you going to fix everything? Even more tariffs. Holy shit. He's based. Holy shit. The problem wasn't the tariffs, is that we didn't do enough of them. If we just triple it, holy shit, he's based. He's cooking. No half-assing these tariffs. The Dan Clancy party would go hard. I went to Dan Clancy's party one time. He said, hey, Truck, welcome to the party. Go have a drink over there. And then while I was over there, he stole my wallet, stole my identity, sold my family's farm to himself, and then put it in Clancyville. So I'm not going to Dan Clancy's parties anymore. What'd you grow on the farm? This is gonna sound crazy. You're gonna make fun of me. I didn't choose the crop. Coffee beans. Unrelated, dude. Unrelated. It was just a profitable trade at the time.